The great hall of the Galactic Council stretched across 3 kilometers of polished obsidian, its vaulted ceiling lost in artificial stars. Ambassador Kira of the Xinthian Empire lounged in her crystalline seat, her 4 eyes half closed in boredom as the human delegation approached the speaker's platform. "Another petition from Earth," she announced, her voice dripping with contempt that the translation matrix couldn't quite hide. "How quaint!" The councilors erupted in chittering laughter. The Kuthrex representative clicked his mandibles in amusement, while the gaseous Valorians pulsed with colors that indicated mockery. Humans had been part of the galactic community for barely 3 decades, infants on the cosmic stage, their voices carrying no weight among species who had sailed between stars for millennia. Dr. Sarah Chen stepped onto the platform, her hands steady despite the cacophony of alien derision echoing through the chamber. Behind her stood Captain Marcus Webb and Dr. Yuki Tanaka, their faces carved from stone. "Honored counselors," Sarah began, her voice amplified across the vast hall. "We come before you with an urgent matter. The Drachnor swarm has entered our sector. They have already consumed the colony on Proxima Centauri B 17,000 souls. We request immediate military assistance and—" "Assistance?" Counselor Vexthor of the Hegemony interrupted, his reptilian features twisted in amusement. "Your species has contributed nothing to the Council's defense funds. You possess no fleet worth mentioning. Why should the established civilization spend resources defending a backwater planet that can barely maintain fusion reactors?" More laughter rippled through the chamber. Sarah's jaw tightened, but she continued, "Because the Drachnor won't stop with Earth. Our analysts have projected their trajectory. After consuming our system, they'll reach Xinthia Prime within 2 standard years. The entire Orion arm is at risk." "Your analysts," Kira sneered, making air quotes with 2 of her 6 fingers, "have been part of galactic civilization for what, 30 rotations? Our xenobiologists have studied the Drachnor for 10,000 years. They follow the food gradient. Your primitive industrial output barely registers as a snack. They'll pass right by." "With respect, Counselor," Captain Webb stepped forward. "We've run the simulation 700 times. The swarm's behavior has changed. They're not following standard patterns anymore. Something has made them aggressive, territorial." "Enough!" The council chairman's voice boomed, his massive form rising from the central dais. The eldest, as his species was known, had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations. "The council has heard Earth's plea. We find it without merit. Humanity must learn, as all young species must, that the galaxy does not bend to accommodate every frightened child." Petition denied. The gavel struck with the force of a thunderclap. Sarah stood motionless for a heartbeat, then another. When she finally spoke, her voice was quiet, yet somehow it cut through the chamber's din like a blade through flesh. "Then we withdraw our petition." The laughter died. Confusion rippled through the assembly. "Furthermore," Sarah continued, her eyes locked on the chairman, "humanity hereby invokes Article 73 of the Galactic Charter. We formally withdraw from the Galactic Council and all associated treaties." Silence crashed down like a collapsing star. "You cannot," Kira started. "We can and we are," Captain Webb interrupted, his military bearing suddenly filling the platform with authority. "Article 73 is explicit. Any member species may withdraw with immediate effect if they determine the Council has failed to provide basic protection guarantees." "This is foolishness," Vexthor hissed. "You'll have no access to the hyperspace trade routes, no protection from the Pact, no obligations," Dr. Tanaka finished coldly. "No restrictions on our military development. No limits on our weapons research. No enforcement of the Treaty of Restricted Technologies." The chamber erupted. Counselors were on their feet, their various appendages waving in alarm. The implications were spreading like wildfire through minds both biological and digital. "The humans wouldn't dare," someone shouted. Sarah smiled then, and it was not a pleasant expression. "Counselors, do you know what humanity's greatest weakness is? Our short lifespans. We barely live a century. It makes us impatient, reckless. We don't have the luxury of 10,000-year plans." She gestured to the massive view screen behind the council. It flickered to life, showing footage from Earth's solar system. Massive shipyards orbited Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, dozens of them, crawling with construction that looked distinctly military in nature. "For 3 decades we've played by your rules," Sarah continued. "We've kept our fleet small, our weapons conventional, our ambitions modest. We've been good little children at the Galactic table. But you see, while you were laughing at us, we were learning, studying, building. The view screen shifted, showing schematics that made several counselors gasp. That's a singularity projector, Kira whispered, her pigmentation going pale. Those are banned. The treaty doesn't apply to us anymore, Captain Webb said flatly. Neither does the ban on autonomous AI warfare systems, or self-replicating nanobots, or genetic warfare, or reality-warping quantum weapons. Funny thing about treaties, they only work when everyone agrees to follow them. The chairman's ancient face had gone still as carved marble. You're bluffing. You couldn't have developed such weapons in secret? Dr. Tanaka's laugh was harsh. You really don't understand humans, do you? We've been refining the art of killing each other for 10,000 years. We've never stopped. We just paused to see if maybe, just maybe, we could find another way. She paused. Apparently not. This is madness, Vexthor roared. The council will do nothing, Sarah interrupted. Because in approximately 14 hours, the Drachnor swarm will reach Earth's outer defensive perimeter. And you're going to watch what happens when a species that has never known true peace finally stops holding back. She turned to leave, her delegation falling in behind her. And when we're done with the Drachnor, Sarah called over her shoulder, we'll remember who our friends were, and who laughed. The doors sealed behind the humans with a finality that echoed through the chamber. For a long moment, none of the thousands of gathered beings spoke. Then slowly, Counselor Kira reached for her communication device. Get me the Zynthian defense fleet, she whispered. All of it. I want every ship we have positioned between Earth and Zynthia Prime. You think they'll attack us? Her aide asked. Kira watched the door where the humans had vanished. I think, she said quietly, that we just made a terrible mistake. And I think we're about to learn why humanity's own legends are filled with monsters. The chairman sat down heavily in his throne, suddenly feeling every one of his 12,000 years. Humanity had stood up, and the galaxy would never be the same.